Hello. I hope the sound is okay. It looks good. So I wanted to hop on. I'm not live. They only say that if they're live, right? I wanted to talk about something that came up in another group, a live call that I was in this morning. That is something that I have dealt with quite a bit because I have a very strong mental energy body. And if you're like me, where you overthink everything, you try to figure everything out, you need to know what's next, you need to know what to do next, you need to know what's coming, and you're just trying to pick everything apart down to its simplest piece, then you have a strong mental energy body as well. And we have we have many, but we have four main: mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And I let my mental energy body run my life for about 40 plus years. And so what I have been doing on this journey the last 5 years is 5.5 years is trying to bring balance to all of those main energy bodies and to my energy field in general. And so, I've been releasing a lot, doing a lot of work on that. But I'm still like an analyzer and an over-analyzer, to be honest. I mean, I'm a writer, I'm an editor. We tend to overthink. We tend to obsess about things. And so, I lie awake at night thinking of these brilliant story ideas that I can't remember in the morning. So it's very frustrating. But what I wanted to talk about was this, what came up in this group this morning with the lovely Suli. And I believe it was Viwamus. She channels this very endearing member of the collective. And we were talking about how these kind of strong mental energy bodies can cause us to try to figure everything out, even when it comes to this process that we're going through. We want to know what is coming. We want to know exactly what to do next to get through the next step, and it doesn't work that way. Allowing is the only way we're going to get through this. And I say that actually, the point of this video is to actually talk about how, and this is something that really resonates with me, and I hope it resonates with you, because it's going to make your journey so much easier to think from this perspective. Is no matter what, no matter how much you resist, no matter how much you have to release from past lives, karma from this life, ancestral baggage, no matter how much you have that you're carrying around, and a lot of us have agreed at some point to release ancestral baggage. So a lot of us are having to do that, or releasing the contracts for that, whatever is in your highest good for that. But whatever you have that you need to shed in order to get to the real you, right, which is the goal of this journey, it's happening. If you're on this journey, if you're staying on this, this trajectory, and we're heading 40, 5D, whichever one, I hear both, we're in a new density. We're already there. The planet is already there. We're physically playing catch up right now. And then will come the purging for a lot of people, okay? So for people like me, Forerunner, First Waver, we've been going through it for years. Some people decades. And so that's why we have been doing this, so that we can turn around and help you guys come through it a lot easier. And so the perspective that I want to offer is that the universe is working for us. We've lived so much of our lives thinking that everything is happening to us and everything is against us, right? We often feel like the universe is against us, or that we're being punished for something. And that is never the case, absolutely never the case. What is happening is, we fall into fear, we fall into this energy of lack, and then the law of attraction comes in, and whatever we focus on, we attract. So if you're living in a space of, I never have enough money, guess what? You're never going to have enough money, even if you have enough. And that's the odd thing, is it even can defy mathematics, which is crazy. But my husband and I are seeing this right now in our bank account, where we should be getting ahead, and we're not, because we're dealing with some lack right now that we're releasing, and we are trying to do that together. So hopefully not much longer, because we would like to be ahead very much. So, but that's that's something that has come up for both of us now, and that's where we're at. But what I want to offer is that it's happening no matter how much you resist. This is going to happen. Now, the more you resist, the harder it's going to be. But if your soul signed up for this job, if you have already agreed at the soul level that you're going to hang out and be here for this whole thing, for this whole transition into this new density for humankind, because the planet and the solar system's already there. That was above our pay grade, having that happen. And so, but you don't have to worry so much about what you need to do next, how you need to do it, what's happening exactly, every next step. Like we tend to obsess over, well, I want to see my whole path. Like if you're 5 years, let's say you're 5 years and you wouldn't know this, but let's say you're 5 years from this big, maybe kind of career shift and stepping into something that one of the big things that you came here to do. Let's say you're still 5 years away. That doesn't mean the next 5 years are going to be miserable, but if you resist every little step where you feel like you're being pulled away from something, and that's resistance, right? If you feel, if it doesn't feel good, then you're resisting somewhere. But the more you resist, the harder it is going to be. That is true. But I also I think it made me feel better to know that no matter what, even if I have trouble letting go of resistance, which I have in many cases, it's happening anyway. It's happening. And it may, I believe too, I don't even think resisting is going to slow it down necessarily. Not at this point, not anymore. Maybe that was true even 6 months ago, a year ago, but we're on fast forward right now because we're on a timeline. And so this process that is happening for us by divine energy, divine love and light, God, the universe, whatever you want to, source, whatever you want to call it, we're being taken care of and we're being pushed through. And it might be challenging at times, but just know that even if you have resistance that you can't seem to let go of, you are going to get through this and it will fall away because this is now happening for us, not to us. And we have a lot of help. We have a ton of help, more help than you could even imagine. Depending on what you can wrap your brains around, we have light beings, we have spirit guides, we have spirit, ascended masters, we have angels, we have so much help. It's ridiculous. And that's in addition to the actual, universe, just totally being on our side and pulling for us and doing everything it can to get us through this. And so if it helps you, I know it helped me. Another thing that really helped me was just when I felt a lot of resistance and could not get out of it and just needed to try and kind of disconnect or, kind of disconnect from it. Sometimes you do need a break and you can disconnect from it and that's okay. Just don't do that for too long because you want to get in there and dig through this muck and get through it. But is a phrase that I heard from, again, Suli. And if you have not experienced Suli's heart, she has a Facebook page called, or a group called Heart Space, which you can look up, and she also does a Monday's Musings, which is wonderful. I can't think of. I'll link it below because I'm blanking on her last name, Yates, I believe. But anyway, she had said this to me, channeling again. I believe Viwamus was speaking through her, and he had said over and over again that actually one entire call I think was about this that I had with Suli that was about, and he kept saying, let it be okay. Let it be okay. 4 little words, very short words, thrown together, and it was huge for me, absolutely huge. So I wanted to share that because I had mentioned to Suli that I was able to share it with some individual people and it seemed to help. And so I thought, well, maybe we need to really get this message out. And I definitely want to give her credit and Viwamus credit because it was not my nugget of wisdom, but it helped me through a very tough time. And, I was going through a time where I had about 6 months where I could not leave my house. And I'm not kidding. I couldn't, I would walk down and get the mail, but that was about, I couldn't even walk around the block. I couldn't even walk the dog. And so I had a little bit of an agoraphobic, processing period, which is all fine. But when I had that call with her and I was told, let it be okay, that really sunk in for me. And I knew that I needed to go see the chiropractor. We get adjusted every month as a family, and I hadn't been in months because I couldn't leave the house. My husband was still going and taking the kids, but I couldn't even get in the car. And so I had an appointment because I just had to go. I knew that it would help. I was miserable. I had a lot of areas that I knew were just needed adjusting. And after that call, I was able to go. I got in the car. I drove. My husband drove, but I got in the car. He dropped me off, and I was sitting in the waiting room, and I just was sitting there kind of zen, just repeating to myself over and over again, just let it be okay. And I was able to relax enough to get through it. And I just keep repeating it to myself, let it be okay. It's amazing how powerful it is. So try that. Try, first of all, looking at it from a perspective, this whole process, if you're in the muck right now, if you're in a bad place, know that it's temporary. Know that even if you feel like you're stuck and just kind of at the bottom of the pit and lying in the fetal position, that when you have those periods, that's when your guides are doing their work, okay? That's when you're being worked on. That's when things are being done for you. We don't have to do this all by ourselves. We don't. We couldn't. There's no way we could do it all by ourselves. And that's not how the universe works. The universe is a synergistic place. And so we have a lot of help. And so just know that even if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, your guides are pulling you, pushing you, whatever they can do, rolling you, whatever they can do to move you forward. And so you're continually moving forward. It really is, and I had a kind of a phrase come to me this morning. I had said maybe I channeled it, maybe I did. I have channeled a few times, and it's really cool because your hand can't keep up with what's coming in your brain. But I had channeled this morning. I'm just going to read it because I don't have it memorized. This came to me. There is almost an autopilot in place now, for lack of a better term. The timing at which we release enough to step out of our own way is divine timing. Allowing is key. And so, definitely not me. I'm not smart enough. Just kidding. I don't need comments. I'm super smart. But that came to me because we were talking in this call this morning about how, we can feel like we're in our own way, feel like we are hindering the process, feel like because we're trying to figure everything out that we have come to a screeching halt. And it's just not true. It really isn't true. We are moving forward no matter what. And at this point in this journey, even for people who don't think of themselves as maybe in this first group, this autopilot really has kind of kicked in and activated. And more help is here. More help is coming, I swear, every day. To get us through this, because they really want us to thrive. They really want humanity to, universe, light beings, guides, everybody. They really want humanity to thrive, not just survive, not just get through the day, not just work and pay taxes and die. They really want us to have better lives. And so they're here to help us get to this new place. And like I said, the planet's already here, the solar system's already here. We're just playing catch up with our physical bodies. So you're probably feeling a lot of physical stuff. If you're worried that you're getting in your own way, or if somebody tells you you're getting in your own way, just let yourself get in your own way. Maybe that's the solution for you. Let yourself resist, and just know that it's still happening, and that you really aren't hindering anything, because there's a timeline going on, and you signed up for this, and your soul is pushing you through this. So you're going to get there. So let's see, I think that was all. And of course, allowing is key. Gratitude is key. Really, those two things, there were times that all I could focus on was, when I was really deep in the pit, I just would try to shift my thinking, even if I didn't believe what I was saying myself, instead of, this, I just want to die, I would shift. And it was that bad, guys, and hopefully it won't be for you. I'm here for you if you need help through the tough times. But I would shift to thank you, and I would just repeat that over and over in my head until that wave passed, and it always did. It always subsided. And even if I didn't feel the gratitude, I was shifting my thinking, my thought processes, my subconscious, that tape recorder that's always playing. I was re-recording. I was recording over the I can't do this, I just want to die, with thank you for this opportunity, thank you for this journey. I know that I signed up for this, so I know I can do it. I know that I'm strong enough to do it. So try that, to change your perspective, to to just know that it's happening no matter what you do, no matter what. I mean, obviously, we want to do inner work and grow as people and be more loving and be more, empathic, compassionate, embrace, everyone and their differences. So work on that. That's if you just focus on love, on spreading love, on loving everyone, on releasing judgment, all that kind of thing. You focus on that and let the universe do its job, and we'll get through this. And then just remember that just allowing it to happen, and being grateful for the journey are two very important things. And in some dark moments, it may be all that gets you through. It was for me. And so let's see. Let it be okay. That was the other thing. Let it be okay. Use that. And go on. Suli Yates. Yes. Find Suli. Find Suli's Musings, which I believe is the Facebook page, and then there's Heart Space, which you can find once you get to Suli's Musings, and thank her, because this is all her her channeling and her guides' words of wisdom. So and she's awesome. I also wanted to say before I end this video, well, I know how to ramble, don't I? That I got a little. I got a message this morning, lying in bed, actually 4:30 in the morning. I could not get back to sleep. I was getting I believe it was coming through channeling, and I'm pretty confident that I can reconnect and get it again. I didn't write it down or anything, but I was, no kidding, getting a meditation to allow abundance in your life, including financial, but abundance in every way. So attracting money. And that's not really my focus. But since it was coming to me, and I'm like, wow, this is really gold. This is gold. And so I want to share it. So once I get that written down, and I have never recorded a meditation before, so it'll be new territory. So that's for you, Angie. I'm doing something that makes me nervous, that scares me a little. I'm going to do a meditation, and hopefully you all will enjoy it. And I will put it right on here when I have it done. But it'll be specifically for attracting and allowing and embracing abundance, for attracting it to you. So to help you release all that crap that's in the way of having everything we want. So again, not really my area of expertise that I ever would think I would do something like that, but it came from me personally, and I'm going to share it. So, all right, I think that's it for today. I think that's it. It's so quiet down here. I'm waiting for somebody to interrupt me. All right. I love you guys. See you soon. Bye.